Hey everyone, it's Trader Rob. We've got tons of high impact news this morning. Let's see how our strategies navigate the markets right after the intro. As always, nothing that I state on my channel is financial advice. Trading futures is a risky business. Any capital that is put out there is at risk for loss. All right, so we're coming off of 2 green days in a row. I know it's awesome. It's definitely gives you a great feeling coming back the next day, especially off of a green day. Small green day. I think yesterday on our eval we were up $100. The only trade really that we were able to do was in gold, and we got activated at the 805 inside bar that showed up. We got activated to the short. We took this for 10 ticks on the E-mini. That is a $100 winner. That's pretty much where we ended off on our eval from yesterday. In oil, it was nice to see session one with a winner. We got activated to the long, 15 ticks. That would have been $150. Was not trading session one on the eval. And then we had a kind of a unique situation. Sometimes we run into these scenarios where we really not necessarily maybe covered it, but if you just kind of followed the rules, I think a lot of people in the Discord was kind of aware of what was the scenario that was playing out here. We obviously got an inside bar at 9:45 in the morning, but that inside bar doesn't actually get activated until the 10 a.m. through 10:05 candle. That's where you would have gotten activated on this trade right here. But that is outside of my trading window, so I did not take this trade. As I stated yesterday, if you would have taken that trade, that would have been a loser. The only thing that I really kind of liked about this setup was that you obviously were getting some pent-up demand here. It didn't really play out, obviously, because we got activated, I believe, here to the long, takes it to the short, goes right back up. So either way, that play yesterday would have been a loser. So that was oil for yesterday. As far as the Rob reversal, I mean, I said it in the beginning of the video yesterday morning at about 7:45, 7:50, that I would not be trading the Rob reversal. Put that into my Discord. I let everybody know that, obviously on these FOMC minutes days, which is high impact news, there is usually a lot of positioning, and you will see a lot of just very unpredictable markets. And what we got yesterday was just pretty ugly. I mean, there was no clear, this is obviously the move here, but there was no clear, I'm sorry, this is the move off of FOMC minutes, which you're going to get a spike and you're going to get, definitely you're going to get some movement. But leading up to that, just not a good environment to be trading. Obviously here we get a setup to go long at 9 a.m., but this closes below the ADMA, no trade. Setup to go short at 10:30 a.m., closes above the ADMA, no trade. And here at 12:45, we get a setup to go long below the ADMA, no trade. So at least these filters and patterns kept us out of some pretty bad trades. So we'll see here this morning if we're able to capture anything in our morning strategies, or if the Rob reversal shows up today. Looking forward to the day. Really trying to navigate these news. We had 7:30 a.m. U.S. initial jobless claims, 8:45 PMI, 9 a.m. U.S. existing home sales, which I'm very curious about, 10 a.m. oil inventory. I do like that the oil inventory is at the end of session 2. We'll see how that kind of plays out. And well, we got a Fed speaker at 12 p.m., but we got those pretty much almost every day. So that's not super high impact. But either way, it's going to be a busy morning. There's going to be some volatility in the markets. Let's see how the strategies do. Stick around for my trade recaps and the recap for the end of the day. See you in a little bit.
Order canceled.
So here's our first trade in gold. Again, I get this error with my bracket orders not showing up. So I've got this tracked on my trading view chart as well, so I know where my stop was before I could even put my manual take profit and stop loss. This thing just ripped to where my take profit was. I had to close the trade manually. I will go over kind of the issues that I'm having here in my recap for the day, but this was the first winner in gold.
Order filled.
All right, here we get activated into a 15-minute Rob reversal. Wasn't able to record the beginning of this trade because I was still in my gold trade or finishing out the gold trade. Saw that I was in a setup, so quickly changed to that chart so I can record what I had. Obviously, we get activated here to the long right at the open. Price action with news is absolutely nutty. This thing came, I would say, a point or two away from my full stop loss. And I was actually obviously looking at this chart and I'm like, oh man, this obviously doesn't look good. The initial push, if you could see the top of the wick of this candle, the initial push was obviously in the very right direction. We came to about 70% of our take profit there. But then quickly reverses all the way down. This thing just keeps flirting with my stop loss. But I am starting to see signs that buyers are kind of defending and buyers are stepping in. And here the price action flips one more time to the upside. It's right at pretty much at our entry point. Here it starts to flip for the positive side. And at this point, started to feel a lot better on this trade, obviously. I am looking for 35 points, so that is $700 on the NQ. $700 profit or $700 loss, because I'm always on a one-to-one risk to reward. And, this trade made you sweat. It took a while for this one to kind of come to its finality, but this thing definitely made you sweat on this trade for sure. But buyers really step in strong here. Turns out to be a fantastic trade. Full take profit, $700 winner on the funded account.
Target filled. Order canceled.
All right, so here we get into our trade in oil session 2. Again, I get the same error where my bracket orders appear for a second, then they disappear. I am in the trade. So we get activated on this trade to the short. And obviously price action, small uptrend, then it started to kind of fizzle and range. I do end up adding my manual stop loss and take profit, which I should have done in gold, but I really didn't have enough time because I'm adjusting everything on charts and on my other trade. So I end up here obviously putting my stop loss and my take profit and looking for a push down. Now, this trade ends up taking quite some time, so I have it sped up. Price action is really just teetering right at the entry line. Does go in my favor a few times, goes against my favor a few times. But what really is the main thing that's on my mind is obviously we've got oil inventory that is coming out at 10 a.m. Central Time. So we're getting pretty close to that. This is, a time where you start seeing some jockeying of position. And obviously you're going to see some moves one way or the other and pretty strong once that report is released. So again, I'm going short, trying to get that temporary price action to hit my take profit. kind of fumbled the order. Not me, but Ninja was having some issues. Again, I'll go over that in the recap video as to what customer service said might be happening. But either way, this goes for a stop on this trade.
Order cancel.
So there you have it. News helped in a few trades, and news worked against me in that oil session 2. Obviously, it was a trade right before oil inventory came out, and that thing just started to absolutely rip. So let's, but you know what? All in all, today's trading was, in my book, positive. We obviously took a fantastic trade that you guys saw on the funded account on the Rob reversal. That thing hits again. I had a few errors in my trades in oil, and I was able to contact, you guys saw that I put that order in oil session 2, which ended up obviously being a loser, but put that order in and got me into the trade, but none of my bracket orders showed up. And that's actually happened to me a few times. And it's happened to me since I made the upgrade to the brand new version of Ninja Trader, which I know is not brand new, but for me it is. And so I ended up calling customer support at Ninja Trader, and they did say that they have a reported issue that they are going to be working on. So I've got to send them my log files and everything to kind of see if they can debug that. I was able to get in my bracket orders manually in oil, but it was kind of annoying. Also, well, let's just go over really quickly the trades for the day. So in oil, session 1, again, a winner, 16 ticks. We got activated to the long at 8:10 in the morning. Wish I was in that trade, but unfortunately was not. But I definitely was in session 2. Took it with only 3 micros, so small trade. Just trying to position size myself a little bit better, just to kind of, if the strategies were just on fire, the morning strategies, obviously I would probably continue the E-mini. Gold kind of, I don't know, I kind of maybe messed up my gold trade there just because right before the trade, I ended up scaling down to 5. I said I would take half the position. That trade kind of got jumbled up as well. So wasn't able to take the full take profit. It should have been $100, 10 ticks. Should have been $50 with 5 GC, which is the micro version of gold. But either way, more importantly is that the strategy hit and took another 10 ticks of profit, and that was a very nice trade. Now, the real beaut, and this was a tough one, and I'm going to explain to you guys why this trade was tough. So on the 15-minute Rob reversal, we get activated to the long at 8:30. Now, I had some questions in my Discord, and it said, well, Rob, this is an 8:15 candle that closes at 8:30. We thought that we wouldn't take that trade. I mean, a lot of people did take the trade. Some people didn't. Some people had some confusion there. So I said, perfect. It's a perfect learning opportunity. So my strategy in the 15-minute Rob reversal is I am looking for trades from 8:30 in the morning Central Time until 1:15 p.m. Central Time. So this candle closed at 8:30. So you are in the trade. If you get activated, which we did today, you are activated after the 8:30 open. So that is a valid setup, a valid trade to take. Now, why was this a challenge? Well, luckily my funded account, which is up $700 up here, Took this for 35 points with a bunch of heat. So, full disclosure, this trade would make you sweat. I mean, this thing was, I think we came maybe 3 or 4 points away from full stop loss, reversed up, obviously news, but stayed in the trade, reversed all the way back up, took this for 35 points, take profit. This thing went, and it just continued to rip, excuse me, continue to rip even afterwards, after the trade was concluded. But this trade here at its peak was 74 points, which obviously, nobody's ever going to get the peak. Why can't I get rid of this sucker now? That should do it. Okay. Even a trailing stop, which again, I am not a fan of. I don't know. That's the wrong word. Not that I'm not a fan of it, but just based on my back testing, I know a lot of people in Discord love the trailing stops on this 15 minutes because you can get some pretty big moves. But again, you got to think about it on a day like today where you've got a lot of news coming out, got a lot of volatility. Trailing stops can be difficult. And actually, now that I'm looking at this, you would have gotten stopped out right here. So really, I mean, you would have only lost a few points. You would have got stopped out here because your trailing stop would have gone from here to here to here to here. Here's where you would have got knocked out. So you actually would have lost a few points on there. No big deal. So even a trailing stop would have been okay. Going back to my original issue with this trade was right at the open, you get the setup, you got news coming out. This thing just took off. Okay, so luckily I was able to take the trade in my funded account. Now, I was also trading this in my cash account. Same strategy. 2 micro versions of the NQ, which is the MNQ. I got errors on that trade, and price action just went right through my orders. Did not get in. So it was not able to take the $140 profit that I would have taken here normally on this Rob reversal. Okay, no big deal. Well, I mean, obviously it sucks, but a lot of people had the same issue on the Discord where they were not able to get into this trade at all. Just went too quickly on them. Some were able to still get in manually. I mean, this thing came all the way down to stop loss, came right back in. Could you jump back into it? Yeah, I guess so. Personally, I would not, just because it's kind of weird how to explain this. I almost feel like you're FOMOing in at that point. And generally, that just doesn't work for me necessarily as a trader. But in today's example, once this thing came all the way back up, it was gone. And it would have been a great trade, even if you would have gotten into this thing again. Again, I wouldn't do it, but everybody trades their own style. Obviously, we get another setup here to go short at 9:45. It is not validated because it closes above the ADMA. And I am shutting this down. I actually said I turned it on so we can see all of the colors and the action. We might be getting another setup here. We still got 12 minutes on this candle, so I don't even like saying that because a lot can happen in price action in the next 12 minutes. But I already said in Discord that I was going to shut it down. I just turned this on right now, right before the chart, just before the video, so that it's just easier visual representation with the where the entry was, the exit, 35 points, $700 on the funded account. And I made a comment that stated that I am shutting down the Rob reversal, and I might kick myself later for it because it seems like every time I shut down the Rob reversal after a successful trade, we have like a double winner in the Rob reversal. So I said I might be punching myself in the face, but I'm taking my profits. I really do not have any greed in my bones. So that's, it's not an issue there. But I got a comment from a member in the Discord that I thought was fantastic. And now okay. So he states, it always gets a little tricky when you emotionally shut off a strategy because you are trying to be unemotional about the strategy. I actually thought that was a great comment. And I told him I'm probably going to put it in the video today, and here it is. It's true. I mean, trading is an emotional game. It is a psychological game, honestly, more than anything. I mean, it is crazy how much trading will affect your brain, and for the good and for the bad. I think with experience, the more and more you're looking at charts, the more and more you're trading, and the more and more that you're following your rules and your conditions, the psychological part of trading gets a little bit easier, just a little bit. It's still a struggle. I made a comment. Somebody else said, you know what, I missed this trade, and he was obviously not the happiest person because he missed it. Obviously, if you're manually trading this, very difficult to even get into this trade the way with price action happening. And he, so he's like, I can't believe I missed it. And then my response to him was like, listen, I'm the king of missing setups. I mean, it just seems for the last 3-4 weeks straight, how many setups have I missed that have been winners? It's just ridiculous, the amount. At least 3 to 4 successful Rob reversals, which is serious money. 4 times 700. I mean, that's money. I had that snafu when I was on vacation. I mean, I can make up excuses like crazy, but I just wanted to let him know that he's not solo in that boat. I am the king of missing good setups, and sometimes I feel like I'm the king of getting into the bad setups when it is, but not necessarily true, because I did hit this one today, and we've been pretty successful with this trade. So the funded account back in the positive. I think we're up 600 and something bucks now on the funded account. Took this one today, and was it yesterday? Jeez, I can't even remember. I don't think it was yesterday. I think it was the day before, where there was 2 back-to-back winners. Yeah, right here. This was, what day is this? February 20th. So yeah, it was 2 days ago, where we had these 2 winners. Took 700 bucks right here, shut it down. Then it hit for another $700, but I was not in that trade. So that's kind of what I was explaining. So that is kind of the teaching moment on the 15-minute Rob reversal. If you're interested in the strategy, there's a link to that strategy and all of my strategies in the description below. I forgot to show you guys again. Let's see where it's at. Can't see it. Here it is. Forgot to show you guys again this morning the dashboard. I promise you I'm going to get better at it, but hasn't moved because it doesn't update until about between 5 and 6 p.m. each night. We currently sit at $50,201 on the strat. I'm sorry, on the eval. And today, obviously, we took a really small loss, 47 bucks. The strategies in general today were 3 for 4. So that was good. Session 1 hit, gold hit, Rob reversal hit. Session 2 did not, was a loser. So overall, positive day trading. I like the bounce back. I like the comments. Like I said, these comments, I do read them all, and I learn a lot. I learn a lot from them. I'm waiting to see back here from Ninja Trader as to the source of their issue with the something's happening with my bracket orders because I'm able to get in the trade. Originally, the customer support guy said that there wasn't enough. Usually you get that error when there's not enough in margin. And I said, well, that can't be the case because I know for a fact I have enough margin in my cash account to trade 3 or 5 micros. I could trade 2 or 3 E-minis if I wanted to. So I knew that wasn't the issue. And then I knew it couldn't be the issue of margin in the eval because this is 3 micros. You're able to trade up to 5. And then I mentioned to him, I'm like, well, wait, that's not the case. The case is because I'm getting into the trade. The trade is being activated and I'm in. So it's not a margin issue. And he's like, okay, you're right there. And what I told him is I'm missing the bracket orders from my ATM strategy. And I'm like, the only difference that has happened in the last 3 days, which is when these errors started occurring, is when I made the upgrade on to the latest version of Ninja Trader, which I love. I really do love it, minus the fact that the bracket orders are not there. And here's the importance of the bracket orders. If you're getting into oil inventory, which was right here, that is a huge move. That's a 50-point move and 50 tick move. I'm sorry. You can't be trading blind. I mean, obviously, I was able to go in and put in a manual bracket order, so it's not the end of the world. But I like things to work the way that they're supposed to work. So I'll wait for them to say, what they've got on that. But again, I'll say it one last time: positive day of trading. If you do want to follow along on my funded journey through Top Step, there is a link below if you're looking to get funded. Appreciate it if you need it. If not, I just love the fact that you guys are watching the videos. Please remember to like the video. Comment below. Let me know how you guys did today. If you were able to take that raw reversal, if it was too quick or not. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Happy trading.